Hi, today I'll be discussing the 5 reasons why we need to marry our mind and fall madly in love with it till eternity. That's right, why we need to marry. Just fall in love with our mind and just love it till eternity. I'm Toyin Okunuga. I'm the author and CEO of Hush to Roar. Hush to Roar is a memoir about my memoir about love, childhood trauma, but most importantly, my recovery. So on the 18th of October, Hush to Roar became the new release bestseller in 4 different categories on Amazon. And it's everything about how I had traumatic experiences as a child. And the reason I've now started to talk more about this is because it's, as we all know, become an epidemic when it comes to our thoughts, our mind, our feelings, everything, and how it translates into everything we do every day. And most, when it comes to traumatic experiences, they stem from our childhood. So a little bit of background about myself. So this is, first of all, just grab my book. So this is Hush to Roar, and I'll implore you to get it. It's on Amazon, to my website in the link below. But before I go straight into that, a little bit about me. So I was born in the UK, and at 2 months I got fostered by the most amazing white family. So at 2 months old, I got fostered by a white family. But when I turned 8, I got suddenly taken away from them by my biological family. And at 8 years old, I was taken to Nigeria. And it was when I went to Nigeria that my life took a turn for the worse. And I experienced so many ACEs, which stands for Adverse Childhood Experiences, that I just didn't know whether I was going or coming from a young age of 8. Now, amongst the experiences that I had that were adverse included sexual abuse at the age of 12, all the way up until I was 15. And this was within the family. So as you can imagine, of course, not to trivialize any childhood experience that is adverse, sexual abuse is right up there, of course, because it's violation of your body. So the reason I'm now talking about why we need to fall in love with our mind is because from a young age, right up until I was an adult, I almost, I would say, sabotaged myself, because I was always thinking something bad's going to happen. Because why? My thoughts were always that of something bad's happened to me, so something bad's going to keep happening to me. But of course, what happened to me was in the past. It had no power in my present, but I made it have power. I was always stuck in my past. And then I started to heal. I thought, oh my word, Toyin, you are in control of your mind. You need to love your mind so your mind can love you, and you can now focus on now. So it was during my healing journey that I thought, you know what? I'm not going to let what happened to me in the past define who I am. So my 5 steps, or 5 reasons why we need to fall in love with our mind, I've got my notes here just so that I don't forget anything. The first one, which I became conscious of what I fed my mind. And that includes what people say. Because when people know you, they tend to feed you with information and things that might not be positive. And if you've undergone some traumatic experiences, the last thing you need is someone who's negative, or who's going to feed you with more negative information that's going to just make you almost sabotage yourself and put you in a bad place, your mind. So 1, the reason why you need to marry your mind is you become more conscious. conscious of what you let in your mind. That's exactly what I'm doing, what I've done for years now. And the second one is that you get to know that your past has no power in the present. So as I said, when I was growing up, I went through a lot of traumatic experiences. I was craving for love. I had a disease to please, even right up until an adult. I'm even still trying to, claw back that I am enough, because I'm worthy. But then I could never see past my past. I always expected something bad to happen. But when you're marrying your mind, you look at it in a different light. You become more aware, and then you get to know that, you know what, that was then. I'm all right now. You talk to your inner child like, you're okay. Just marry it and love it. So that's number 2. Number 3, you have compassion. Compassion with yourself. So I had no compassion with myself. Of course, I thought I did, but my actions were saying something different, because I'd always say, again, it's the mind. I'd always tell myself that there's something wrong with me. Why am I so stupid? Why did I let myself be sexually abused? I could have said no. No. When you get to understand that that's how you are or were as a child, and that's how the mind and the brain works for a child, you'll have compassion. And then, going back to that, marry your mind and you love it, and you speak to your inner child and say, it's okay. That behavior of the amygdala was normal in the freeze, the fright, and the flight mode. It was normal. Everything you did was expected of you. That is loving your mind, and you become well, and you say, it's okay, you're enough. Just have compassion. So that's why we need to marry our mind, and that is number 3. Yes, and then number 4, the reason why we need to marry our mind, because what we think becomes what we feel emotionally. Of course, then I felt anger, frustration, unforgiveness, anxiety, depression, everything, all those negative things were what's coming to me. And what does that do? Excuse me, it messes up with our mind. And then when we think, we feel that way, and then we act that, it becomes our personal reality. That lie that we're telling ourselves that we're not worthy, that's what becomes our personal reality. And what does that become? It becomes who we are. And I tell you now, in another video, I'll say how that made me ill. I had so many physical ailments because how we feel can make us ill. But guess what, guys? When you feel positive things, emotions, you release those oxytocins and you feel well. I am healed. I'm healing. I keep healing because I no longer accept that people tell me, oh, what happened to you? Oh my gosh. No, I'm okay. So that is number 4. Your thoughts become what you feel, and what you feel becomes your personal reality. And why won't your personal reality be beautiful? Exchange that and let's marry our mind and love it. And then number 5 is you start to have a positive outlook to life. I can be here all day with you guys because, of course, with everything pandemic, the news and everything, again, just watch a little bit of news, take the information that's important. We all know we need to wear our masks, keep our distances and do all those, yes, but don't feed your mind with it continuously. Marry it and say, you know what, I've got the information I need. Now I'm going to get creative. But this is just me talking about why we need to marry our mind. In videos to come, I'll say the reasons of how, I'll say how we can start to marry our minds in depth. But that's all I'm going to say tonight, because we have all the reason to be joyous, no matter our circumstance, because our mind does not know the difference between what's happening and what we're thinking. So by the time we start thinking that I'm okay and you're creative and you're working, you'll start to work in those positive ways because your brain doesn't have a clue what's So I implore you, let's marry our mind, because I'm marrying mine. And anyone that comes up say, whoa, God, that mind. Positivity, please. So to keep on getting all these little videos from me, I release videos Tuesdays and Fridays. Please subscribe to Hush to Roar below and get your 3 ebooks. You'll see, well, a little bit more about me. Most importantly, get Hush to Roar and see how I healed and married my mind, because we deserve it. We are enough. We're worthy. Just have self-compassion and marry your mind. So those are the 5 reasons why we need to marry our mind. Yes. So subscribe to Hush to Roar and stay tuned. You take care and take care of your mind. Remember, your inner child has a voice. Don't suppress it. Let it roar. Thank you, guys.